Sexual. Some people are strange, and some people are gay. Maybe I'm just sexual. 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 Something for the top, and something for the bottom, bottom, bottom. But we're all just sexual. Sexual. We're all just sexual. Sexual. Yeah. Hey, we're not in the 60s, but yet we're talking about the same things. So why are we having these same discussions? It's so interesting that you find it fascinating. Who I'm sleeping with and what I'm doing. Why do we all need these labels? Your character is all that matters to me. To me. You shouldn't let ideology and favors make you stop loving family and friends. Some people are strange. Ooh, yeah. Some people are gay. Ooh, yeah. Maybe I'm just sexual. 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 Something for the top. And something for the bottom. Bottom. But we're all just sexual. We're all just sexual. We're all just sexual. Some people are strange. Ooh, yeah. Some people are gay. Oh, yeah. Baby, I'm just sexual. Baby, I'm just sexual. Sexual. Ooh, yeah. Something for the top. Something for the top. Something for the bottom. Something for the bottom. But we're all just sexual. Sexual. We're all just sexual. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Why do we all need these labels? Is he gay or straight or somewhere in between? Yeah. Don't let ideology and favors make you treat your brother or your sister differently. Yeah. Some people are strange. Some people are strange. Some people are gay. Some people are gay. Maybe I'm just sexual. Maybe I'm just sexual. Sexual. I'm just sexual. Something for the top. Something for the top. Something for the bottom. Something for the bottom. But we're all just sexual. Sexual. We're all just sexual. Sexual. Some people are strange. Some people are gay. Some people are gay. Some people are straight. Maybe I'm just sexual. I'm just sexual, baby. Sexual. I don't need a label. Something for the top. Something for the top. Something for the bottom. But we're all just sexual. I'm just sexual. We're all just sexual. Yeah, yeah. Sexual. 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 Some people are strange. Some people are gay. Some people are gay. All sugar. Baby, I'm just sexual. Does it really matter? Sexual. Does it really matter? Something for the top and something for the bottom, bottom, bottom. But we're all just sexual. Sexual. But we're all just sexual. Yeah.
What is going on? What is going on? What is going on, y'all? What's up? What's going on? I hope that you all are doing well on this amazing Tuesday evening, okay? And I am feeling very good today. It's starting to get a little bit warmer, so um, I'm making it a thing now to kind of actually, in a sense, spend some more time outside in nature. Even though there aren't any leaves on the trees and everything is still bare, it's still beautiful. And babe, there's something happening within me that I don't know what's going on, but it feels good. It feels good. And I know that I'm on the right track. I have everything outside of me that keeps affirming me that I am on the right track. And again, I'm just learning to love myself and include myself in what I feel like, or shall I say, I know that I deserve. Okay? Walking by faith can be a scary thing, but it's not only scary, it can be liberating. It can be exciting as well. A wise mystic once said, girl, don't ever use periods, bitch. Use commas. When you use commas in reference to yourself, girl, it'll show up in commas as far as bank account. It'll show up commas as far as blessings is concerned. Just, I don't even think I could ever find the words to really explain how I feel, but I just know that I feel good. You know what I'm saying? So, shout out to everybody that's in the chat. Shout out to Style by Stevie. What's going on? Shout out to Ron. Yes, I've been somewhat following the Trump indictment. I think I got some sort of notification on my phone today about how I guess he was found not guilty or something. Of course, he wasn't gonna be found not guilty. I mean, a lot of our systems are crooked, but that's okay. It's not gonna stop accountability. Like I was talking to somebody, one of my other fellow weed enthusiasts, and fellow, I would guess say, philosopher. We were just having a conversation um, about how a lot of us are afraid to be accountable, and we live in a world where people will find all type of ways to not be held accountable, baby. But when spirit gets involved, there's no way to stop it, girl. Spirit will make your ass just be like, girl, I confess, I confess, I confess, girl. And spirit be like, yeah, I know you was gonna confess, bitch, but you still gotta take this ass whooping, girl. No shade. As above, so below. And I ain't talking about the Aleister Crowley way. I'm talking about the higher consciousness way. He just took that concept and used it for a lower vibrational frequency. Okay? But he gonna get his, baby. You can't escape, girl. You on planet Earth. You is a human being. I don't give a fuck what your name is, who your title is, girl. All the shit that you feel that can keep your ass safe, girl. Okay, girl. You gonna gag when all that shit that you thought was a fail safe actually failed, girl, and it's no longer safe. Now let me hit my shit real quick. Another thing I'm manifesting, girl. I'm gonna be somebody's weed ambassador. Bitch. I'm gonna be somebody's damn weed ambassador. I'm claiming it right now, okay? And I also got a few little bit of, girl, what? I got a few new Andrew Caldwell clips, girl. I said, let me go ahead and shake it up because we've been using Andrew, and Andrew been kind of moonwalking his ass, girl. I guess that's what happens when you become a black, gay, conservative Christian, girl. Your mind just, girl. And he be trying to jump that shit over here on me. Ever since my ass motherfucking had to sit down with them Ron Vugata, girl, Andrew Caldwell been on my heels ever since. Yeah. But anyway, before we get into that, or into this, get into that with the clips as well as this live. Let's do the smart thing, y'all, because we work smarter, not harder, girl. I do it the BubzDaGawd way. It's still smart, okay? Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips to balance in favor of fair use, okay? So with that being said, let's go ahead and get in. Well, first of all, let's give Andrew his shit first, just off rip, girl. This self-hating, self-loathing, gay Orisha God, girl.
And that's one thing. And
You wanted it,
okay.
and you got it.
You what?
You wanted it,
And you what?
and you got it.
Okay, hopefully that will be enough to suffice. Okay. Good. Hopefully that will be enough to suffice, girl. Hopefully that will suffice. Andrew already starting his shit, y'all. Girl, taking a sip of tea. And let's get into chapter Pure Line Copper with his gaslighting. And out of all the crimes he committed, he has to appear for the low-level crime. He gonna be? Trust me. Trump may not look like a nigga, but he gonna know what a nigga feel like. Chapter 32. Love never fails. Had to change my song up a little bit. Please let me know in the comments if the music is overpowering me. Okay, because I do want y'all to hear the music in the background subtly. Okay, because music just helps the information to kind of be received a lot better. Okay. Chapter 32, Love Never Fails. I walk into the restaurant, excited to see Sean. Reconciling with my brother was a paramount experience, and there isn't anyone I want to share the news with more than the man who has been there for me throughout this entire unorthodox journey. When I think of Sean, I think of goodness. I see a beautiful man who has shared his life with me more than anyone else has this year. I dare say more than anyone in my life has, and I am thankful for him. Sean has been my shoulder to cry on, a endless well of encouragement as I have struggled to overcome overcome years of dogma and make sense of the chaos. Okay, bub, slow down. Gotta slow it down a little bit. He has been my protector and my teacher. He has been my pastor and my family, my dance partner and my drinking buddy. He has been more than a friend. In every way possible, Sean has been my better half. Better, not bitter, better half. A few days ago, I had another epiphany. My relationship with Sean has been the most stable, functional, and healthy relationship I have ever had. And as I've considered the fact, part of me wishes that things were different and that I could be with him legitimately. It would never be a reality, this relationship evolving into something more for very obvious reasons. No matter my esteem, I cannot look at Sean in the way that would be essential for us to be together, in the way he so deserves. I was born straight. He wasn't. It is a given, but somehow that still hurts, still gnaws at the spaces of my heart. If anyone has ever deserved happiness, it is this man who has sacrificed and served me as a friend, while I sought the answers to my prejudice. I would have been lost without him on this journey. I see Sean sitting at a table, looking at a menu, his gentle posture and relaxed demeanor a trademark of his being. He's wearing a dark blue button-up shirt, nice jeans, and an unassuming gold chain around his neck. His hair has been cut, and he is freshly shaved. As I get closer to the table, I can smell his cologne. Not you over here like Jill Scott, bitch. I wonder if you still wear the same cologne. I had the next man of mine try that same kind, but it stunk on him though. Shut your ass. I smell his cologne, which is somewhere between a masculine citrus and an outdoor earthy pine. He looks at me. He looks at me and recognizes me in a way so few ever have. I feel a heaviness in my soul, heaviness that I do not understand. Hey there, beautiful. Sean stands and hugs me, wrapping his arms around my shoulders, enveloping me. He holds me with more purpose than usual, as though he's trying to hold on to this moment, as though it might be the last time for us. You smell good, I say, my cheek pressed against his upper chest. I wore it just for you, he says, flirtatiously. I look into Sean's eyes and something feels off. His expression, outwardly positive, masks something else, and it unnerves me as I sit down and scoot my chair in closer to the table. It is not the look a friend gives another friend. It is the forlorn look of a lover. It's a look hinting at the unrequited, I think it's unrequited, the unrequited hinting at something hidden but about to boil to the surface. I feel unsure, like I know what's about to happen, yet naively hope for something else. Sean reaches across the table and grabs my hand. He has reached out this way 1,000 times before, but I feel an urge to pull away. I have never felt the urge to pull away before. There has always been the agreement, the understanding that that what we can be is limited, But the line of understanding divides us feels muddled and broken now. And I know everything between us is shifting off track. I have had this same feeling before, this same prediction of loss, but never with a man, never with someone like Sean. Are you okay? I almost mouth the words because I know something is very wrong, that my dear sweet friend is struggling. Of course. Do I seem like I'm not fine? Sean's voice betrays a soft frustration. Something's just different, off somehow. He looks at me, and I see emotion welling up in his expression. He looks like he's in pain, and I so want to help him with that pain, except I can't. Deep inside, I know I am the root of his pain. I do not know why or how or what has led up to this point, but I can feel the wrongness inside of me and the guilt. Earth-shattering, life-changing guilt. I may not have lied to Sean about my orientation, but honesty has not prevented pain. His face, I see it in his face, His face. I see it in his face, in his eyes. I see it in every bit of soul behind those eyes. I am to blame for this. Sean doesn't speak. He doesn't need to. It's me, isn't it? It's our arrangement. It has gotten too real. I hold back a tear from falling and feel shame. It is the first time in my life that I have felt this kind of shame because I think it is the first time that I have hurt someone so pure and so dear as the man sitting across from me. But Sean knows me too well. He reads my expressions as I have read his. He squeezes my hand and cuts me off before I say anything else. It isn't you, Tim. You were always upfront and honest with me. Always honest about this thing. I guess I just let myself get carried away. This has honestly been the best relationship I've ever had. And go figure, it's with someone that I've known all along I can't have. I shudder and let out a breath. His words confirm every fear inside of me. Tim, it isn't your fault. Don't ever blame yourself for this. What you're doing is brave, and I have been so happy to be part of it. I am so blessed to have been a part of it, really and truly. I don't know what to say. I don't. I do not have a clue how to put words to the feelings of sadness and gratitude I feel. I want to tell him so many things, but it isn't the right time. Right now, no words would do justice to the pain Sean feels. I fidget with my free hand, fumbling the black rolled napkin that holds the silverware. "What's next?" I ask, voice shaking. "Well, I think we should enjoy our last dinner. And then I need to take some time. I have to protect my heart and figure all of this out. We'll still see each other, around, I'm sure. Just not like this. Not like this." His words trail off into a whisper, and we are both left in silence. Him holding my hand and me wishing, for the first time in my life, that I could make him happy. After dinner, I struggle to say the words, to speak the truth. I have to. I can barely even say them for fear of making things worse, but I want Sean to know he wasn't alone in this. I want him to know that this was real for me too, but just not in the ways that would make us possible. "Do you remember the first night at the bar when I told you about my experiment?" I ask, my tone solemn. "Yes, I do." That was the first time I looked at the men around me as men, not as gay men. I don't know how you did it or why it happened the way it did, but yours was the heart that showed me how backward I was. In the entire time we've known each other, I would have never been able to predict that the best relationship I've ever had, would be with a guy. I mean, I'm fucking straight, for Christ's sake. I guess what I'm trying to say is that, it takes a pretty strong. It takes a pretty special guy to make a straight guy wish he was actually gay. You have no idea how much I wish I could be that for you. It breaks my heart knowing you're hurting. Sean doesn't respond with words. Instead, he wraps his arms around me, like before, with a sense of urgency and purpose. In our embrace, we both struggle to let go. I feel a tear slipping down my cheek, and I know I am not the only one. We are stuck in this moment, stuck in the raw emotion of it. We are stuck in future nostalgia, knowing that we will both look back on this and smile, and not just smile, but feel the deep melancholy when we remember that this faux relationship grew beyond anything we could have foreseen. This is not the end of a fake relationship. This is as deep a breakup as I have ever experienced. I have finally learned a lesson. I would do this entire experiment again just to stand in the presence of this man, my friend, and to feel the warmth radiating through me because of his overwhelming love. I have never felt such love from another human being. There is a stirring of thanks within my soul that softens the parts of my heart that religion made so callous. Sean has been Jesus to me. He has proven that love is something I cannot limit to an orientation, and that sex is not really the ultimate goal of anyone with a pulse. Love is otherness. And while we all have our baggage and our pain, and love may seem impossible or out of the question, the need for it is still always there. That irresistible need makes us human. And maybe that is the reason why 1 Corinthians 13 ends the way it does, with 3 simple but divine words. 3 words that are the answer to most of our problems on this beautiful blue planet. 3 words that make faith so beautiful. 3 words that I understand now because of Sean. Love never fails. Period, okay? End of story. Love never fails. Sean's arms relax, and as I am released from his embrace, I feel part of me falling away. It is an avalanche of the soul that I owe to this one man, this lone angel of goodness whom God has brought into my life to make me a better person. I feel born again, yet vulnerable, and better because of him. I am more myself than ever before, more confident in my life's journey. I have always believed in higher callings, divine journeys that we are given to undertake so that we can learn and unlearn whatever will be essential for us to reach our potential. This calling of empathy is the highest I have ever known. To empathize is to understand intimately. And what could be more profound than understanding, even if only in a small way, the hurts, joys, victories, and defeats of another? This is why Jesus is my hero. And this is why Sean is now too. Sean taught me how to do this. I owe it for him. Sean says a simple goodbye and kisses me on the cheek. And as he pulls away and turns to walk from the restaurant and from me, I feel a wholeness in this experience. I feel a small measure of peace that I didn't before tonight. While it is only a small piece of a much larger puzzle, it is an important piece. I take a deep breath, turn away, and walk towards the park. I need to sit on the bench by my favorite statue, look up at the lights of the, what is this, Parthenon, and process this entire experience. Even though I am alone, I know now that I'm not. I possess a part of Sean's heart, the most intimate gift he could give. And it will always be with me because love never fails. Love never fails. Love never, ever fails. And ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of chapter 32 entitled Love Never Fails. Now that's very interesting, girl. When love, and it's crazy how it just explores the different intersections of love and what love, that you have to know what love is to really and experience love and be open to experiencing that love to actually give it away the way that Tim has and the individuals that Tim has come across has given to him. How just being aware of self and willing to honor other expressions of life for what it is, not what I think it to be or what has been told to me, but to actually experience it and also check myself too. And it's just interesting how what's the name answers like Sean had to also deal with his part of falling for Tim. And Tim can understand that, and even though he was straight, was like, damn, I wish I could give that to you, because for the first time in my life, I feel something so real. Is this why people are labeling this shit the gay agenda and afraid of the gay agenda, girl? Because of this? the level of awareness and accountability, girl, that they feel like they might be wanting to give niggas love too, girl, what is it? Okay, and since that was not a really bad read through for the most part, let me show y'all some of these Andrew clips, girl. Now when my ass be reading, okay, because I try to read fast, because I love subtitles. My brain just works fast, so a lot of times I be reading and trying to keep up with everything, but I might see a word from like another stanza down and it might jump up to me, girl. I don't know if it's some sort of something, girl, but it's just what I do. This is what my lips be doing. That's why I be stopping, girl.
Somebody shouted, "Oh!"
You see how his lips was moving? Girl was doing that. And the fact that I did a pretty good job, let's give God some praise.
Hey, hey, hey! Woo! Hey, hey, hey! Heal me to the yoto. Ring to the yoto, no, no, no. Healing the yoto, the yoto, the Him to the yoto, no, 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 da. Heaven the yoto, hey. Ha, 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 ha. Heal me to the yoto.
Girl, did y'all see his hairline, girl? How Andrew Caldwell younger than me and he looked like one of the goddamn Evans, one of the Evans, bitch. Damn it, that's Samson's son, bitch. What's the Evans? Moving on up. And this is the no, girl, that's good, bitch. Y'all know who I'm talking about. What's the nigga? The slop dance he be doing? The nigga with the hairline that's all the way in the back in the middle of his head. I forgot his name, girl. He over here with that goddamn it's not an S curl, girl. It's a Z curl, girl. Andrew Caldwell already ain't got no damn, his hairline falling back, girl. That Bert and Ernie shit really kicking in, girl. He's looking like his father's, girl. And then had the nerve to take some of the whatever edges he got left and got baby hairs. Girl, let me tell you something. Okay, Style by Stevie was the ha 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 ha. Okay? But anyway, it was very interesting. This chapter, and it's crazy how it also shows that even when things come to an end, it don't always have to be destructive. It don't have to be some explosive. That you can honor the love that will always be there, but also honor that there are some things that are not going to go forward. Even though, you know, Sean knew this of the experiment, it still didn't stop him from developing emotions, but he was able to be aware enough to say, I have to be away from you to protect myself now. So that now that this experiment is over with, I have to go make sure that I'm good too. And that, like Tim said, one day, like a future, and I like when he said future nostalgia. Because nostalgia is reminiscent of something from the past. But it's future, and the way he broke it down was good. Was like, we're crying right now, but we know that in the future we're going to look back on this and laugh. That our connection is not ending. It's just transitioning. That's all. It's transitioning into something that will be a lot better for both of us. Even though the romantic aspect isn't there, and Tim was even to be aware enough in his love to say, you know what, damn, I wish I could give you that because you are so deserving of that. And you're going to get it. Admit it's not going to be me. Okay? It ain't about to be cookies and cream, peaches and cream around here. As far as us intermingling, girl, it's not the swirl. It ain't half and half. Romantically. But how they're able to both let go, but let go in love. Because at the end of the day, and just like the name of this chapter, love never fails. It never fails. And this book to me has proven that we need love all across the board. That LGBT, that queer people need love. That a lot of Christian people need love. In totality, humanity needs more love. And we prevent humanity from growing when we try to stop certain groups and people's expression of love. Because in a way, that's like insulting humanity, girl. Humanity allowed them to be here, girl. So what's the problem? And I forgot what was said. I think he said something along the lines of, in one of the previous chapters, either it was him or he was quoting someone, that God is the one that judges, that the spirit will convict, but our job as human beings is to love. Let spirit do its job. Spirit really don't need your help like that, girl. As far as what you think love would do, if anything, love just needs your ass to be available. And let love do its thing. No shade. But what we're going to do now is we're going to take a quick break before we go into chapter 33 entitled Freddy Please. Freddy Please. Ooh, girl, he going to talk about Westboro Baptist Church. Ooh, if y'all don't know about Westboro Baptist Church, girl. Bake. Okay, let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to hit my joint, girl. I'm trying to decide what I want to eat, girl, because my stomach is growling. Every time I start reading, girl, my stomach be growling. So I got to try to figure out what I'm going to eat after this, girl. But I'm doing love work today. Okay, humanity work. And the food gonna have to wait. Amen. Even though the food coming. Thank you. Ikarobu Shande Iskatai, girl. Come on, Andrew. The food is on the way.
In the name of Jesus, you be made whole by the power of God.
Woo, yes. We'll be right back. Again, our residential theme song is entitled Sexual by the GOAT. Be motherfucking slayed, okay? And we will be back in a few. Hold on.
Sexual. Some people are straight, and some people are gay. Maybe I'm just sexual. Something for the top, and something for the bottom. But we're all just sexual. We're all just sexual. Yeah. Hey, we're not in the 60s, but yet we're talking about the same things. So why are we having these same discussions? It's so interesting that you find it fascinating. Who I'm sleeping with and what I'm doing. Why do we all need these labels? Your character is all that matters to me. You shouldn't let ideology invade us. Make you stop loving family and friends. Some people are straight. Ooh, yeah. Some people are gay. Ooh, yeah. Maybe I'm just sexual. Something for the top, and something for the bottom. But we're all just sexual. Some people are straight. Ooh, yeah. Some people are gay. Oh, yeah. Baby, I'm just sexual. Ooh, yeah. Something for the top, something for the bottom. Something for the bottom. But we're all just sexual. Yeah. Why do we all need these labels? Is he gay or straight or somewhere in between? Yeah. Don't let ideology and fables make you treat your brother or your sister
They need to work more on that fade feature. It sounded so good, but it just cut off so abruptly. I be like, girl, yeah. And then my damn mouth, sometimes I be trying to do the fade on my own, girl. Be like doing crackhead shit, girl. I be like, what's going on, girl? Just hi, 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 hi. Girl, what's going on? Again, the name of the song is entitled Sexual by B Slade. Make sure y'all go ahead and stream that. It's on all streaming platforms, okay? He got new music coming out. I think I shared one of them on my Instagram story yesterday. Like, girl, who is calling me? Who is calling me? They keep on calling me, calling me, calling me. Hey, girl, phone just be ringing off sometimes. Like, girl. Anyway, let's get into chapter 33 entitled Freddy, please. Freddy, please. Nigga, Freddy, please. Okay, girl. Spending the holidays in Missouri isn't my first choice, even though it has presented me with the blessing of seeing extended family I haven't seen in several years. But I have to do it. I have to do it. Because one of the last pieces of this beautiful puzzle is an opportunity I never thought I would have. Visiting Westboro Baptist Church in Topeka, Kansas. Let me get a sip of water, girl. Hit my joint before I read the rest of this, girl. Because if y'all don't know y'all research on the Westboro, girl, one thing that I can say that I have no choice but to respect is that at least they being honest. At least even though it's ignorant and fear-based as hell, I appreciate a motherfucker who is honest that they fearful and fear-based. If more people can just be honest and stop walking on eggshells, girl, and just say how you really feel and what's in your heart, girl, then we can actually deal with the root. 1 second. One second. Well, I want to let entertain y'all, girl. Let Andrew Caldwell entertain y'all, girl. Matter of fact, no, I ain't gonna do that with him, right? We gonna do this instead. Before we go into this Westboro thing, let me go ahead and mute myself and drink my water, hit my joint, girl, as we continue to protect our energy and our spirit, girl, by using the one word that I've discovered that has so much power, girl, regardless.
In the name of Jesus, you be made whole by the power of God.
That's one thing. And
you wanted it,
okay,
and you got it.
I had to put that last part in there. No shade, because if it's one thing that I am very aware of, and it's a scary reality, but I'm very aware of it, and I accept it for what it is, girl, is that there definitely is now a tangible, even though it's been there, but we're seeing it again now, a tangible threat against queer people. And baby, you talking about fear inciting, you're talking about low vibrational plate with no seasoning on it, girl. If it's gonna be low vibrational, at least let it taste good. Shit. You're talking about what the lowest vibration of fear, which is hate, looks like, I'm gonna need for y'all to do y'all research on the Westboro Baptist Church. I actually have, I think, matter of fact, let me check and see. Because one thing that I need to get back into, y'all, I'm learning slowly but surely about all of my creative outlets, and I'm just learning how to explore them more. But it's a lot, so you gotta bear with me, okay? I can't do every motherfucking thing, bitch. I gonna do what I can, okay? But there is, let me see, a video I have on my YouTube channel, because I also do like scary stories. You feel me? Because I just love storytelling, and I've been told I have a very good voice for it. I just need to learn how to slow down because I speak very fast, girl. So my shit be running together. So again, maybe get a speech teacher or some sort of something to help me out a little bit to enunciate better. But regardless, I have a video on my YouTube channel that y'all can go listen to. It's only like 8 minutes and 23 seconds. It's a creepypasta horror story called Gay Marriage. And in the beginning of that clip is the pastor at that time who has passed away, Fred Phelps. He was the founding pastor of the Westboro Baptist Church. And I used one of his excerpts in it. And it was just very vulgar and just very foul and just in your face. Okay, girl, but anyway, let's get back into it. Excuse me. Make sure y'all check that out. It's on my YouTube channel, okay? It's under videos. Westboro Baptist has become notorious in recent years for its outspoken protest at the funeral of soldiers and spiritual leaders. Even more deplorable than the act of protesting a funeral are the methods they use to do it. God hates fags and God hates America are the two most recognizable slogans one sees Westboro's carrying as they exercise their First Amendment right. Even though they've been featured on news programs, documentaries, and movies, I need to see if they will speak with me. In March, I found the church's phone number online. See, I see phone online. I put them together, girl. I found the church's phone number online. It was on a list of organizations most likely to be prank called, and I decided I'd see if the number was legit. The voice that answered was a young man's, and before I could even say hello, I was met with the most defensive tone I've ever heard. Go figure. I mean, the number of phone calls they receive in a day probably trumps the number most megachurches receive in a month. And almost all of them are combative, I imagine. Is Fred there? I asked meekly. No, he's not. But we wouldn't let you talk to him even if he was, the young man snapped. Okay. Well, who could I talk to about visiting your church? Why would you want to visit? Because I want to learn more about what you believe. I spoke as respectfully as I could, blocking out the images flashing through my brain of their their signs and slogans. It took focus. Oh, well, you'd want to talk to Shirley then. Is she in? No, she's at the hospital right now. I mean, that's not good. Is she ill? No, she's fine. She's there because a family member is in labor. Oh, wow. Congratulations. Could you leave a message for her? Hold on. Because something popped up on my phone. Okay, yeah. Could you leave a message for her? Sure. He seemed surprised by my sudden burst of positivity. What do you want it to say? If you could just tell her a guy named Timothy called to get info about the church, I'd appreciate it. Okay. I'll make sure she gets this. His tone was friendlier. Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. No problem. Have a great day, he said. You do the same, my friend. The change in the young man's tone from the beginning of our conversation to end was dramatic, an evolution more than an attitude change. And the interaction was convicting. It was convicting because even though Westboro's congregation is looked at as the most evil the Christian religion has to offer, they're still people. Yeah, that's true, they are. They still grieve, suffer, and celebrate joy as much as anyone else. My decision of whether to call back was a no-brainer after that conversation. If the young man playing secretary treated me decently, even if only in small talk, maybe the older members of the Phelps clan could do the same. The next day I called back, and a woman's voice answered. From the interviews I've listened to, I recognized it as Shirley Phelps, Fred's daughter. And just as the young man had been defensive, Shirley was even more so. Who's this? She asked sharply after I said hello. My name is Timothy, and I called yesterday. Did you get my message? Yes, I did. Congratulations on the boy. Is he or she healthy? I spoke in the most upbeat voice I had inside of me, hoping to break the ice like I had with the young man. Oh, he's healthy, and he's going to be another powerful voice for God. She sounded combative, but also conflicted, like she was trying to decide if my call was a prank or if I was genuinely interested in speaking with her. That's awesome. What's the little guy's name? The silence on the other end of the phone lasted a few seconds, and I waited, hoping she hadn't hung up. Hey, Queen Spicy. His name is Ezra Joel, after the Old Testament prophet who knew the law like the back of his hand. She held his name up, proclaiming it like the baboon in The Lion King presented Simba to the rest of the animals from atop Pride Rock. That's a great name. My mom named me Timothy, but I think I was named after a family friend instead of the biblical character, I said. And then something both unexpected and beautiful happened. Shirley began laughing. Well, we all can't be as lucky. We all can't be. Okay, Andrew, girl. Okay, girl. Okay. All right. Where you at? Where you at, girl? Okay. Mm-hmm.
Hey!
Okay, girl. Okay. Well, we can't all be as lucky as little Ezra. Her laugh, albeit brief, was filled with something beautifully human. It revealed a heart that I never thought I would see, and it gave me hope that I might have made a good impression. No, we can't, I said with a laugh. So, you wanted to get some information about the church? Her tone became less personal and more businesslike, and the brief window into Shirley Phelps' psyche closed. Yeah, I'd love to visit if you guys are okay with that. Why would you want to visit? I'm writing a book, and you guys present a pretty extreme view. I was hoping to hear more about why you believe what you believe. Because the Bible preaches God's wrath and God's hate as much as his love and grace. Why do you need a visit? I'd just really like to, if that's okay with you. Well, I guess that'd be okay. You've got to understand, we have to be careful. People have tried to blow up the church in the past few years. What? Are you serious? That's awful. The children of Satan outnumber the children of God. Her responses seemed rehearsed, as if from a script written from Levitical law. When are you planning on coming? Honestly, I don't have a clue. I am just hoping before the end of the year if I get the chance to come visit. Just let us know when you are coming, and we'll see you then. Her voice became pleasant again, catching me completely off guard. Thank you, Shirley. I appreciate your time. Look forward to meeting you in person. And as odd as it may sound, I actually was. I would love to have a conversation with the daughter of Fred Phelps. I would love to see if showing her even a small measure of respect would take the edge out of her voice for an entire conversation. I would love to see if showing her the love of Jesus will soften her heart towards me. It probably won't make a difference, but it's worth a try. So now I'm driving, crossing the state line from Missouri into Kansas, listening to Christmas music as I make my way to Topeka. It is an odd feeling to be driving into the heart of a church so many people deplore, and that I myself feel so strongly against. They have caused so much pain. The Phelps protested the funeral of Tammy Faye, the mother of my friend Jay, and the hurt and anger on his face when WBC Westboro Church is mentioned is eye-opening. They poured salt into the wounds of a life-shattering moment, and Jay still feels the burn. A few short months ago, I realized I had become a Pharisee towards believers. And while I feel more balanced now than before, I need to know whether I am able to love everyone. And I do mean everyone. If I can't, this whole year was a wash. I think the thing I have learned best is that I really don't have a choice in who or not to love, even if they are the Phelps. This year has taught me that extreme hate is almost always born out of extreme fear. And fear is the byproduct. And fear is the product of insecurity and abuse at the hands of cruelty. And if that is true, then Fred and Shirley are either beyond crazy or just beyond terrified. Okay. I told my friends and family I was going to visit Westboro, and all of them seemed afraid, their apprehension apparent in their responses. My mom asked me not to go, and my friends asked me to take someone with me. If those people are audacious, Andrew, are audacious enough to wave signs like that around a bunch of soldiers' families, they're audacious enough to hurt you. I declined both suggestions. And as I pulled into Topeka, I noticed something on the directions that I missed when I printed it. The zip code of Westboro Baptist Church is 66604. Some might call this a coincidence, some an omen, but I call it divine irony. The Pharisee looks over at me and smiles. Even he disagrees with Westboro. The Phelps are the furthest extreme on the religious spectrum, and their theology of God's hate and wrath are disgusting to even the most ardent fundamentalist. Do you honestly think they are going to let you inside? You've got earrings, and you are a big guy. They are going to see you as a threat. I hope not. I'm coming in peace. They don't know that. I've got to try. Do as you must, but don't say I didn't warn you. I drive down the street and park my aunt's car. The church is bigger than I expected. Much bigger. I see a huge banner advertising their new website, GodHatesAmerica.com, and it reads in huge, bold red letters. I make my way to the corner of the sidewalk to get a better look, and I see a traditional church sign that would usually announce service times and church updates. With the exception of the name, it's empty. It's empty because it has been vandalized, and the message written with red spray paint reminds me of the banner on the front of the church. It shows me that there is a little Phelps inside us all, because it reads, God hates the Phelps. Ooh, interesting. If I believe that God is a God of love, I cannot pick and choose the objects of that love. Oh, girl, everybody is calling me, girl. What is going on? Practice love, girl. I cannot pick and choose the objects of that love. God even loves Fred Phelps. I wish I had paint thinner and a scrubber. I wish I could take down the God Hates America banner too. All of it makes me sick because both messages are untrue, equally untrue. I do not care how closed off Westboro is. The iron gates and wood fencing are nothing more than a piece of the image they want to portray. Making my way downtown, walking fast. Making my way back towards the side of the building, I find an opening in the gate, walk to the door, and attempt to open it. It's closed. I push the bell and knock a few times. No one answers. I knock on the door again and ring the bell next to the frame and listen. Nothing. I hear nothing and feel a sense of defeat. I have driven the hour and a half from Kansas City for no reason and won't get the chance to talk to anyone. And then I hear muffled voices arguing inside the door, and it opens, revealing a woman. She is not like any woman I have ever seen in a church growing up. She is dressed in old-fashioned clothing, and her head is covered. "Hello," I say, grinning from the excitement that I'm finally face to face with someone at the church. "What are you doing here?" the woman asks sharply. "I spoke with Shirley and told her I would be visiting. Is she here?" "Go away. You aren't wanted here." She snaps at me like a dog snaps at an intruder. "I love your head covering. Very traditional." "Get out of here, you little shit." "So you cover your head but you curse at visitors?" "Not as traditional as I thought." I take a step back and turn sideways, trying to speak through my body language. "Shirley said it was okay for me to visit. I spoke to her after Ezra was born. I dropped the name, hoping it'll give me some credibility. Another door to my right opens. It's the door to the sanctuary. Another woman pokes her covered head outside. "Leave, or we are going to call the police." Her words surprise and amuse me. "I was invited here. Could you please let me talk to Shirley?" "Listen, you child of Satan. Go away," says the woman in front of me. My mom always used to call me that. She'll be pleased to hear it confirmed by someone else. I don't think she appreciates my attempt at humor. "Fine, have it your way. You can talk to the police about it," says the woman to my right. "I just want you to know, even though you guys are speaking to me this way, I love you. And that vandalism on the sign outside isn't true. God loves you too." I notice the Pharisees is watching both women as I speak, shaking his head in frustration. "We know he loves us. It is you he doesn't love." I've been told that before. I think of my old hallmate Patrick. These women said exactly what he said to me when I came out. And I know it isn't true. "Get out of here, you little bastard. We're having a meeting and you aren't allowed in." Why didn't you say so? I smile and speak lightheartedly again. "We've called the police. Repent of your evil. Are you a fag?" As a matter of fact, I guess I am. I've never been so proud to be associated as gay. "Your deplorable sin is going to damn you to hell for all eternity. Repent and accept the fire," says the woman to my right. "So even if I repent, I'm damned? Your God kinda seems like a dick." My response is emotional and reactionary. I have lost my objectivity and my grace. But it really is hard not to be a smartass in the face of such ignorance. "You're the dick, kid," the woman in front of me sneers. "Can you answer me one question?" I ask. "What?" she asks. Why do you embrace hatred the way you do? That's easy. Because the mighty and holy God of the Word says that he hates sin and sinners alike. This nation is an abomination, and his wrath will pour out upon it in holy judgment. Well, I guess a visit may not, really be the most appropriate thing for me at this point, but I want to tell you something. You represent everything I am against, but I do love you. And I hope that the Lord opens your eyes to the true message of the gospel. I hope it saturates your heart and that you find peace. Because you will need supernatural peace when you realize how many people you have hurt. Merry Christmas. Don't presume to teach to us about God, faggot. And just like that, both doors slam shut, and I am left in the quiet winter morning once more. I walk back to the car, slowly. The Pharisees is in front of me. These women were scary. Like Kathy Bates from Misery scary. No. These women weren't scary. They were scared. God be with him. I feel my heart breaking as I reach the car, and I turn to take one last look at the church. I drive past the old church sign, the one that was vandalized, and I feel calm. God may hate sin, but God does not hate the Phelps. God does not hate anyone, for that matter. I drive away from the city with something inside of me missing. I have left a piece of my heart at Westboro Baptist Church, and I will pray God changes their hearts. And ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of chapter 33 entitled, Freddy, please. Freddy, please. That's fine. That's perfectly fine, Spicy. I appreciate you coming in and out. That's cool. In and out is fine. Okay? This chapter was very interesting. And that's one thing I've been learning as well, kind of like what Tim is doing, is learning how to humanize people who don't see me as human. Because I hear on both sides of the spectrum, God loves you and I love you, and God loves you and I love you, but it's literally about that application, that verb being put into action. Love is action, and it's also a choice. And baby, I ain't gonna hold you, girl. Tim is probably at a higher level of awareness than me, because baby, there will get to a point to where it's like, okay, girl, you talking to me all type of crazy, girl. I'm gonna have to match that energy. No shade. But when he said, damn, I kind of lost my objectivity. And it's kind of like, I can see it from both perspectives, because from a religious standpoint, these individuals feel like they know the truth and that God loves you but hates your sin. And that's the thing that's been going around a lot in reference to queer people. God loves the sinner but hates the sin. But we struggle in the application of that. Even with Tim, with him saying, like, even though I'm against what you're against, I still love you. I feel like that was his attempt to try to, because baby, it'd be so easy to kind of just fall into that stuff. Like the Phelps kind of found the loophole somewhat in their belief that, hey, the reason why I hate y'all so much is because, don't take it up with me, girl. This is what God is saying, girl, and I'm just following God. And it's like we keep having the God versus Christ conversation, when it's supposed to be a blending. You got the Phelps family operating in toxic masculinity, or the toxic a masculine aspect in reference to the mind by literally just recreating what the Bible has said, even down to the way that they dress, they cover their heads, this old ideology. Spewing nothing but fear, 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 and found a loophole for it, found a shield for it. But they're missing the emotional side of it, which is what Christ was. Christ in that book represent the feminine energy, the emotional energy. Emotion, energy in motion, to be able to use your mind and your heart to be able to manifest, to put it into action, to actually give it life. And even with Tim, it's like, yeah, he kind of got into his human mode, and we all gonna do that. I mean, we have to also deal with emotion. We cannot solve this equation of really, truly, genuinely loving humanity the way that we deserve to love humanity and to be loved without dealing with the emotional. We have to deal with it. We can't bypass it. We can't go over, under, or around. We have to go through it. And we are very emotional people. That's one side of humanity that we have a lot of times let go of. It's deemed as weak. But really being emotional is one of the strongest things you can do, because you are willing to talk about some shit and let go of shit within you. And even with me, I ain't gonna hold y'all, girl. I had my own preconceived notions about the Westboro Baptist Church, girl, before I read this chapter. And it kind of got me together a little bit, telling me that I still have a lot to go in reference to learning how to love other people who don't give that energy to me. And even in the moments where my ego will go off, girl, because I'm human, to still remind myself that they are still human. And again, there's some sort of fear there that makes them react in that way. And it shows how much there is a lack of love and how love is definitely in need. Here it is. Tim ass was on the phone and shit like, hey, I'm talking to the one person, this one. And I found one source of humanity. One little inkling of humanity. A little something, a little sliver, a little crack that just showed the humanity. And then when he was invited to the church, they was like, hell no, girl. We operating with what we know. We operating with what it is that we've been experiencing. There's no way that God can work through a fag. There's no way that God can work through all these other people. Only the people in the book and us. Not realizing that their fear has shut them off from the rest of the world. And again, it goes back to what Christ said, do unto others. That's a universal law. What you give, what you put out, you receive. To where you got people saying, no, God hates y'all. It's a back and forth. But that's why there has to be a wrench thrown in the cog. There has to be some sort of shift in order to break the cycle of hate and fear. That's why education is important. That's why books like this is important. That's why I do the best that I can to try to have conversations and to be objective and to be open-minded. And I'm still scratching the tip of the iceberg when it comes to that. Because there are still ignorances and biases and fears and insecurities within myself that I'm still dealing with. And I think that's the one thing that kind of humbles us, is that at the end of the day, we all are going to have thorns in our flesh. We're all going to have thorns in our flesh. It's about how do we love each other through it. And I'm going to say this and I'm going to be done. I'm currently watching this anime called Attack on Titan. I know it's been out for a long time. My ass is a late bloomer to a lot of shit. I'm 5'2" and I'm 31. It's all right. But as I was watching the show, the philosophical and just the like humanity thing really stuck out to me, because the whole theme was about protecting humanity, and it kind of seemed very reminiscent of what's happening outside of us. I mean, happening in our own objective reality together, but it's just through a fictional aspect in reference to these titans and stuff. And it just shows that if we work through our fears, because baby, they was fucking everybody up on that show. The Titans was whooping humanity's ass, baby. I was watching that shit like, well, damn, girl, is humans ever gonna win, girl? This is some scary shit. But even when it seems like all hope was lost and that they were against the greatest of odds, girl, because they had love and they were honest with each other and they were willing to face their fears, even if that meant putting their lives on the line, girl, humanity always had a chance at redemption. Even though that's the unique expression of Attack on Titan, the people that wrote this shit and the underlying themes, if you could read between the lines, is so universal. And I'm so glad to be alive and aware in this present moment in time, because I'm realizing a lot of art is expressing the bigger picture. And again, if you've been following me for a while now, I've been saying that energetically speaking, we have moonwalked our way back. We are literally back to the future in reference to the 60s and 70s energetically. And I say that because humanity was making a choice to ascend collectively. 60s and 70s, black liberation, queer liberation, women's liberation, anti-war, hippie, make love not war type of stuff. All that was destroying the falsified system that keeps everybody a slave, because we're all slaves to the system. And all of those efforts were somewhat destroyed, kind of like by the Titans, girl. But you can't snuff out the flame of truth, objective truth, the truth where it says every knee shall bow and every tongue confess. In all of these religious books and all of these religious beliefs, there's always been a day where everybody had to kneel down to what the objective truth is. And I feel like now we are in the same energy. Black Lives Matter, LGBTQ liberation, women's liberation and finding their own power, anti-war. Look at the news, y'all. Look at where we're going. Motherfuckers smoking weed, more weed now. Motherfuckers who were doing problematic, tragic shit are starting to wake up to what they were doing and realize that I have to sit up here and literally work out my karma now. But we have to work together as the human family. That is the one thing that we are missing, is the human family. We keep missing the mark, and I feel like we have the opportunity to actually hit it this time. But it's going to take all of us. It's going to take all of us facing our fears. That's why in the narrative of the Bible, Christ was saying that you should die to yourself daily, which means die to the false self. And that's only a journey that you're going to be able to understand within yourself. But facing fear is the initiation. And that fear, FEAR, false evidence appearing real, exactly what it is. It's appearing real, but it's not real. That is until you walk through it. And we all are walking through our fears, but we don't have to walk through our fears alone. That's why I also believe in community. We live in a world now where people want to be famous and want to be popular girl and will do everything to be popular girl and still feel alone. Fuck all that. I'm manifesting quality, not quantity. And the fact that I have people that come into my lives all the time, whether it's for a minute, whether it's for half the live, whether they watch the replay, whether they come across this shit 2 months for, I don't care. The fact that people always show up and support me and touch and agree with me in reference to manifesting our best lives, I appreciate y'all. Even if it is 2 of y'all. Because see, I don't do this shit for the money. Because I'm naturally going to manifest that. My gifts and my talents will make way for me. But I'm sharing a part of myself and my psyche and my life and my overflow of love because other people did it for me. Every day I am learning more and more about myself. Some days it'd be like exciting. Some days it'd be like, bitch, this is me. But I'm realizing it's a journey. And I think that's probably why I like anime, certain kinds that, have series and seasons and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Because it shows a journey. It shows a journey. And we're all on a journey. And we're all growing and we're all evolving. I just do it the BubzDaGawd way and through self-love. That's just how I do it. And my way ain't the only way. My way ain't the only way. I'm just up here sharing what's good for me. But I try my best to try to find the universal aspects of what I believe and contribute it to humanity. And all this stuff that we're seeing now that kind of seems like it's being forced in our face, girl, is we're learning more about humanity, girl. We're learning more that is outside of the bubble that we live in. The box that we live in. And that can be scary, but it can also be beautiful. Again, we believe in commas, not just periods. All right? So once again, thank y'all for coming through on this live. Shout out to Queen Spicy. Shout out to Queen Stevie. Shout out to Ron. Shout out to Queen Donna B. Shout out to everybody who came through on the live. Shout out to those who peeked in. Shout out to those in the bushes. The very few, girl. Some people, let some people tell it. If anything, please hit the like button. Please, please, please hit the like button. You ain't gotta subscribe if you don't want to, but you can at least hit that like button. You ain't gotta be a hating ass and wrench all your life. You ain't got to be. But if you feel compelled and you like the Bubs flow and just me being naturally who I am, girl, with the quirks and the qualms, you fucking with it, make sure you do hit that subscribe button and also make sure to hit that notification bell, okay? And make sure you hit all, because shit be acting weird. I went live and I went on my phone and it said it was still waiting for like 2 minutes. So YouTube is not really doing this part, unfortunately. It is what it is. That don't really mean shit because it ain't gonna stop shit. But make sure you hit all so that you can stay as updated as you can with YouTube shit and what's going on with BubzDaGawd. And if you feel compelled, if something's pierced your spirit and you feel like that was a word and you feel like blessing me financially, girl, my cash app is at the bottom of the screen, bitch. I ain't begging, girl. I'm just putting it there. Because the universe is going to provide. That's one thing I'm learning. The universe is providing. All I got to do is make myself open and available to it and not be afraid of it. And it does. It provides for me. And baby, if it's like this on a goddamn lower level, what's up, King Loafer? Loafer, low key fur. See, okay, Andrew. Okay, girl. Okay, ha 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 ha. Again, cash up at the bottom of the screen, girl. We take everything. Shit that jingle infos. Ikarabo Shande Iskatai and the power of God. All right. All right. Thank y'all for rocking with me. Once again with my Bubs Flow edition of the cross in the closet. Okay? I make sure that y'all have the rest of an amazing, wonderful Tuesday evening. And I'm gonna leave you with our residential outro song, girl, whichever one it is, entitled Language of Tears. Okay, the rendition is B. Slade's rendition, okay, which I absolutely love. And no matter what happens in your life or what is happening in your life, you are loved, girl, just like that damn shit said in the beginning, girl. The other chapter, the first one we read, love never fails. Love never fails. Just love yourself so you can be included. And when you have moments where you want to be human and cry and let it out, let it out. Okay, again, crying is the soul's way of throwing up. I think that's one thing that I'm going to do every day. I'm going to go outside when I smoke my joint, and I'm just going to be thankful. I have music that I listen to when I do like my candle magic and like my rituals and stuff like that, to where I cry. I cry to release that emotion so that I can make room for what it is that I desire in my life. Okay? And like B. Slade said, girl, one of my favorite songs, the theme song for my whole YouTube channel, called Photosynthesis, girl, okay? After the sun, then comes the rain. And after the storm, the sun will shine again. Plant seeds of faith. Add tears of pain, girl, and a dash of struggle. Just be patient. Your destiny will manifest, yes. Photosynthesis. Okay? So y'all make sure y'all have the rest of an amazing night. And I will see y'all again soon. Peace.
Feeling so lonely, feeling so down when you need someone. No one's there to be found. The pain inside can't be expressed verbally, so you cry on your pillow. You don't know what you're saying, but I know an interpreter of tears. And when your voice you cry, it lends an open ear. Oh, God understands the language of tears. It knows all about all your pain and your fears, when you're right and you're wrong, when your friends are gone. He's a shoulder to cry on. God understands your tears. You can't keep it bottled inside, so just let it out. In God you confide. That's what He's there for. He knows all your pain. It's alright to cry. Joy will come in the morning, but I know interpreter of your tears. When your voice will cry, there's an open ear. understand your tears. It's alright to cry. Oh, Jesus, you can cry.